Hello, guys. Welcome to another edition of our English for All by the Carioca English teacher. Okay, my name is Vince, and I will be your teacher for this lesson. All right, let's begin. In this lesson, we're going to talk about who in questions. So, asking questions with who. The first example is when you ask a question using who and you want to refer to the author of the action. So, asking question about the author of an action. Look at this sentence. Someone called Philip. So we know that someone called Philip, but we don't know who called Philip. So we want to know who called Philip. So in this case, you have to ask this question. Who called Philip? Okay? Pay attention that when who refers to the author of an action, no auxiliary verb is used. So who called Philip? Okay. So here are some examples when you use who to ask about the author of an action. Okay. Who likes apple juice? So to like apple juice is an action, okay? So you want to know who likes apple juices. So in this case, you have to ask a question like this. Who likes apple juice? Okay? Another sentence. Who spilled Coke on the sofa? So, to spill, this verb is in the past tense, spilled. Who spilled Coke on the sofa? You want to know who spilled Coke on the sofa. So, in this case, you ask a question like this. Who spilled Coke on the sofa? Another question. Who broke my favorite cup? So you want to know who broke your favorite cup. So in this case, you have to ask a question like this. Who broke my favorite cup? So pay attention that when we ask a question about the author of an action using who, no auxiliary is used in this case because you are asking about the author of an action. Next. Now let's see another sentence, but in this case you're gonna ask questions with who, okay? Asking about the receiver of an action. Look at the sentence. Philip called someone. So in this case, we know that Philip called a person. Philip called someone. But we don't know who he called. So in this case, you have to ask a question like this. Who did Philip call? Who did Philip call? Look that in this question, we used the auxiliary. The auxiliary verb did, because this sentence is in the past. You want to know about something that has already happened in the past. So you ask a question like this, and you have to use the auxiliary because who in this case refers to the receiver of an action. Okay, Philip called a person. Who did Philip call? Here are some more examples. Who do you need to talk to? Again, the use of the auxiliary verb do. The auxiliary is used because who in this case refers to the receiver of an action. So here you have the subject. You need to talk to someone. And I want to know who you need to talk to. Okay, in this case, I ask a question like this: who do you need to talk to? Another question: who does Susan make long distance phone calls to? Again, the use of the auxiliary does, okay, because you know that Susan makes long distance phone calls to people, okay, to someone, but you don't know who. So you want to know who does she make long distance phone calls to. In this case, you have to ask a question like this: who does Susan make long distance phone calls to? The last question: who did Sally bump into at lunch? So you know that Sally bumped into a person at lunch, but you don't know who. To know who, you have to ask a question like this. Pay attention that we also use the auxiliary. In this case, the auxiliary is did because the sentence is in the past tense. Who did Sally bump into at lunch? Now let's compare the questions again. The questions and the answers. When who refers to the author of the action, look, no auxiliary is used. No auxiliary is used. So who lied to the boss? Rick did. The auxiliary is used in the answer. Rick did. Or you don't need to use, you just have to say the name of the person. Like this: who lied to the boss? Rick. No auxiliary is necessary. Okay? But when you ask a question, okay, a who question that refers to the receiver of the action, you need to use the auxiliary verb. Okay, so let's see the question. Who does Mary work with? She works with Susan. So who in this case refers to the receiver of the action. Pay attention that the receiver is usually after the main verb or after a preposition if it's an indirect object. Okay. Now let's do some substitution. Let's do a substitution drill. Okay, it's pretty easy. I'm going to appear here now. Voila. No, not like that. Like this is better. Okay. The question: who broke my vase? In this case, who refers to the author of the action. Okay. So who broke my vase? But instead of vase, if we had glass, how could you make the substitution? How would that sentence be? How would it be? So, who broke my glass? Very good, okay? Instead of vase, if it were glass, the sentence would be, the question would be, who broke my glass? Okay? Now, let's do the other drills. Let's do the other examples. Picture frame. Ask the question. Check. Who broke my picture frame? Bad. Ask the question. Check. Who broke my bed? Mug. Ask the question. Check. Who broke my mug? Pencil. Ask the question. Check. Who broke my pencil? Laptop. Ask the question. Check. Who broke my laptop? So that's all for today, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and share with your friends. See you